What's up, family? Gerald the Bossman here. You're tuned into the Bossman Show on AM 1010, AM 1430, 1055 The King. Let the King out at 105theking.com and the Bossman Show at bossmanshow.com. Hit me up on Instagram, The Bossman Show, Twitter at Bossman Show, and Facebook, Bossman Show. It's the Bossman on your radio.
Listen to the Bossman Show with your host, JR, Saturdays at 9 a.m. right here on AM 1010, The King.
What's up, good people? BetOnline is your number one source for all your betting needs. The latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use your promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
Yes, BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV, covering content and hot topics from A to Z, sports, music, society and culture, movie reviews, you name it, we have it. Check it out on bs3network.com or check us out on Roku, BS3 TV on Roku, as well as check out your favorite podcast on all podcast platforms or Spreaker.com/BS3 Network.
You are now tuned to BS3 Network.
Back on the Bossman Show, going to the Mount St. Mary's to talk to Donny Lynn, coach of the Mount St. Mary's Mountaineers, up there at the Mount now, doing his thing as the head coach. Coach Lynn, good to talk to you, man. Good to see you again after I saw off here. I saw you when you played as a Radford, man. So good to see you again, man.
Good to see you too. It's been a minute, but good to see you.
Yes, sir. Well, Coach, let me ask you, man. Tell you this opportunity at Mount St. Mary's. Dan did a good job there all those years to the tournament, and now you coming in here. So, kind of, what about this opportunity when it was brought to your attention that it was open up, so it really kind of made you want to go after his job and get it the way you have, man?
Yeah, it's a special place. You know, I had the privilege of being an assistant here for 3 years, and so I knew what the Mount was about. I knew that the history and tradition that they had here. I knew just, that the people really, really care. And that's what makes this job unique. There's not a lot of quote unquote, mid-majors or low major jobs where the people in the community, the people in the area really care about the basketball program like this one. And so when it came open, I knew that already. I didn't have to do much research on, is this a good job? Is this not a good job? And so when I knew how good of a job it was, honestly, I was surprised that I would be somebody that they would consider. Obviously having worked here and knowing all of the other good coaches that have worked here or played here, I thought if they're going to go that route, maybe I could be on the list, but I'd have to beat a lot of really, really good coaches to get the job. And so, when I saw it was open, I went all in and tried to find a way to let them know how serious I was and what I think this place can be. Obviously Brad Davis, the AD, and we connected really, really well and have a similar vision of what we can do here at the Mount.
100%, Coach. And for you, getting the job in April when you did, you really had to get on the court with your guys. But how's it been getting to know the guys that are returning and trying to and also building this roster out as you get ready for summer here to get the workouts going and kind of prepare for next season coming up?
Yeah, the people are the most important thing, right? As I'm building this program, having a staff of guys that I trust, having players here that are bought into me and wanting to play for me, and also are the type of guys that I want to be around every day. That's the most important thing for what we're trying to do. We'll figure the X's and O's out. If we need to change and modify and adjust, we will. But the most important thing is the players. And like you said, I only had 4 days with the players on the court, as part of getting ready before, the NCAA said we can't be with them. And then then they're gone for the summer. So, did a lot of film and getting to know their games. But more importantly, just spent time with them all individually, started to get to know them as people, figure out what makes them tick, why they play, what's important to them. And it was quick to find out that the guys who are still here, are the type of people that make sense for me. They got great energy and enthusiasm about the game of basketball. They love what they do. They love working on their craft. They're fun to be around. They've got a zest and a joy for the mount and for being here. I asked every single one of them, hey, what is your favorite part about being here and what's your least favorite? And the least favorite things were really insignificant, but they all love the support that they get from the community. They love the atmosphere that we have here around the games, and they love the ability to get better, that we have here. We've got great facilities. We've got great people around that can help you get better. And so they're aligned with me, and so I was able to find that out pretty quick. And then they'll all get back here in the next couple of weeks to really start to work and really get to know each other on the court. And like I said, we'll make the decisions on basketball stuff then. But as long as they're the right type of people, I figured it would work out.
Now, Coach, for you this summer, is it more of team stuff because this is your first year, or do you do kind of work on their games? You kind of do a little bit of both, kind of a hybrid blend of both?
Yeah, I think I had to do a little bit more of a hybrid than maybe I would do in a standard year. I think that the summer is a time for the players to really work on their game and really get better and invest in their own game and do what they can to improve. And I tell them, I say, hey, we all talk about having their bag, and I got this in my bag, I got that in my bag. The summer is the time to put the stuff in your bag, right? Like, you spend the time in the summer working on your game, seeing what all you can add to that bag. And then when we all get together in the fall, whatever made it in the bag, okay, let's use that in the game. Whatever you think you like but isn't there yet, and we gotta kind of put that on hold until it's time to work on your bag again. And so this year, because it is my first year and we've got so many new things and new concepts and new ideas, we'll do a little bit more team stuff, but it's still got to be a time to work on your game and improve. Because if the guys don't get better, it doesn't matter how great our X's and O's are. It doesn't matter how good our scheme is. If we don't got good guys that have really put the work in on their game, in November, we're not going to be good enough to beat anybody. So, we got to find a good balance there.
And Coach, we got to be happy that the date's not. I remember back in our day, the old day, October the 15th. You got to be glad that the magic day is gone. You touch on the summertime. That magic day came. You got to crash it all in before.
Yeah, no doubt. Thankful for that. Thankful for some time in the summer with these guys.
No doubt, Coach. And Coach, man, for you, as recruiting has changed, the portal, it's kind of going, I call speed dating now. So how was this recruiting process for you, trying to vet young men, so they have the right mindset, as you spoke about, to be able to come to the mountain for the right reason? So how has that been, trying to vet young men in a speed dating fashion with how the portal is now?
I mean, like anything else, you can't stuff a year's worth of conversation in 2 weeks, right? And so you've got to be we had to be willing to have those conversations and find out about people. We also had to be willing to bring someone here on a visit and realize that they're not a good fit and be okay with that. Like you said, back in the day, or even a couple of years ago, once somebody came on a visit, you were kind of no turning back, right? He was if he said he wanted to come, he was in. And now with the way the speed dating, the speed of recruitment, I think that time you spend together on campus becomes almost another opportunity to get to know that person. You'd love to have all that done beforehand, but it just isn't the way anymore. And so one of the things we talked about as a staff was being willing to find out some stuff we didn't like on the visit and be okay with saying, hey, man, we appreciate you coming up here, but it's not going to be a good fit. The same way they could say that to us, right? We were willing to say that to some guys. So using the visits as an opportunity to really get to know someone. It's like, that first time you go away for the weekend with your girl, you learn some stuff about her that you didn't learn in the first couple months of dating. It's the same sort of thing when you have someone here on a visit. And so we knew we had to be okay with that. And so that happened a couple times with some of these visits, but we really felt like, as great of a tool as Zoom is, as great as it is to get on a call with guys and see their family and all that, we really pushed to get people here so that they would figure out what the Mount is. The Mount is not a place for everybody. I'm not a coach for everybody. And we would be able to spend that time with them. And so, especially with the limited time we had, we tried to make it more about in-person time with the recruits and the guys we were trying to sign for this team.
100%. And tell me about this, Coach. The MAC, man. It's a tough league, man. Up and down, up there, man. It's tough. So talk about that, man. And competition up there, and just being able to compete against great schools in conference play. And I know it's a tough every day, and you got to play the conference play, but just want to win against these schools. Got all this tradition, man, and the Mount itself is tradition as well.
Yeah, it's cool. So I coming from the SoCon, right? I think it's very similar to the SoCon, just in a different part of the country. It is a basketball-centric league, just like the SoCon was. And it's a league where good guards run the show, right? You can't win in the MAC without good guards. And so I feel like I got a good taste of what the basketball is going to be like from my last 3 years in the SoCon, being in environments where they really care about basketball, being at that mid-major level, but people are more focused on basketball than football. And so coming to the MAC, a league that is very, very basketball-centric, like you said, there's tradition up and down the league. There's schools that have, gone to the tournament, made runs in the tournament. They, now you're going to be playing, twice a year. And it's exciting. When I was here as an assistant, the Mount was in the NEC. And so coming to the MAC now, it's a much more appealing job because it's a higher level league. It's a better level of competition every night, but it's also tougher, right? It's also tougher to be to compete every day. You got to have more resources. You got to be willing to spend. You got to be willing to do the things that it takes to be really, really good at this level. And it's cool because I came here at a time with a new president and a new AD that are both committed to men's basketball being really, really good. And so it's a fun time to be at the Mount. It's a fun time to be in the MAC as it's growing and expanding. And we just had MAC conference meetings, and all of us coaches went arm in arm and argued about stuff and tried to pave a way forward that we can be competitive as a league and going forward. So it's an exciting league to be in. I'm excited to go through it and see where we fall, and hopefully put a team out there that competes every night.
And Coach, I know what in your meetings, but one thing I would always push for if I was a coach like yourself is 2-day prep. So I would say let's play Wednesday, Saturday. So you get 2-day prep. Trying to do it on 1-day prep near that travel can be difficult. We don't make excuses, but it's just the truth. It could be difficult sometimes on a 1-day trip with travel.
Oh yeah, no doubt. We got a lot of Friday, Sundays in the MAC, and I was in the MAC as a student when I was in school, and so I remember those trips when you'd play on Friday night, and then you'd have to go drive 2 or 3 hours, and then go play again on Sunday, and that day of practice on that 1-day prep is really light, and it's a lot of mental stuff, and then it's the team that's more ready to go out and play there on Sunday is usually the team that can get it done. It's not as much about game planning and execution as it is about recovering and mentally being ready to go when that ball jumps up mid-afternoon on a Sunday.
No doubt, coaches. And man, for you, non-conference scheduling, that's one of the big things that you do besides recruiting, man. So how is scheduling games been? I know it's one of the hardest things you coaches do. So with you being a first-year head coach, I'm pretty sure your phone may have rung off the hook more than usual. The guys want to get a game from you.
Yeah, everybody thinks we're going to stink. So it was easy to schedule this year. Everybody thinks they could get a piece of us. So we had a philosophy. Certainly we need to play some guarantee games here. Put ourselves in those positions to play some high majors and get a chance to test our mettle against them and see, kind of where we stack up. I believe that those games are super important, obviously from a financial standpoint, but also from a standpoint of, our goal is to play in the NCAA tournament. In that first round, when we go in there as a 13 or 14 seed, we're going to play against a team like that we're going to have seen already in a guarantee game setting. And so, those games, I believe, help get your team ready for the NCAA tournament by having prepared and played against teams like that. And then, the cool part about being here is the local same level competition that you can play in home and home games. There's so many natural games that you have to turn some away. We play Loyola every year, which is the longest standing rivalry in the state. Have played, for over 100 years. And it'll be a special one for me, being a Loyola alum, to coach in that game. And but we also, we play all sorts of local teams. We play Howard, we play Bucknell. We play some of our rivals from when we were in the NEC, like St. Francis, PA, and LIU Brooklyn. So there's a lot of really good natural home and home games, within 3 or 4 hours that make a lot of sense. So that's fun for scheduling. I like to play those games in the non-conference. That makes sense for us, makes sense for our fans. They're at home, maybe they're 60-40 games. On the road, they're 40-60 games. And that's what college basketball should be about, right? You're playing 100%. Games that you got a chance to win every night against schools that matter to your institution.
And Coach, man, I got one for you. For you, Coach, what point did you decide you want to get into coaching? I know that's, like I said, I know it's a fun job to have. My dad's a coach. Actually, I chose to do radio and media because I know I'm a little too scared to be a coach. My mom might get me in trouble off the air. So, but at what point you decided the coach could be in your cards in your future as a career path?
Yeah, so I couldn't play anymore during college. I found out that I really wasn't good enough, and then I had an injury, and it wasn't going to be in the cards for me anymore. And so the staff at Loyola asked if I wanted to hang around and be a manager, and I was a student manager for 3 years in college, and at first I hated it. I thought I could still play. I compared myself to the guys who were on the team, and sometime during my junior year of college, I realized that the coaches there at Loyola at the time were helping me grow up. And, I had this realization that I need something like that while I'm in college. Everybody else is running around acting a fool, being an idiot. And we on this team, we have our fun, don't get me wrong, but we've got something bigger that we're working toward. And because of that, we're making better decisions. We're moving in a direction that is helping us become men. And, I've always wanted to find a career where I could help people. And they kind of married each other, when I was later in my college career. And I didn't know anything about the business. I don't have any family that's coached. My dad's a accountant and my mom was a nurse. And, it's just been trying to figure it out. I've been fortunate to have really, really good people around me, get really, really lucky, and people that have kind of helped me along the way and pointed me in the right direction. And then, I just believe that, you try to do whatever you can to give yourself a chance to get lucky, right? Put yourself in a position to be the one who gets lucky. And obviously, this is a testament to that, getting this opportunity here at the Mount.
And last one for you, Coach, is being an assistant coach as long as you have, how do you kind of prepare to become a head coach, being in that role as an assistant coach? So how do you kind of prepare for this opportunity to be ready for it as you are right now?
Well, I was really, really fortunate working the last 8 years with Mike Jones because he had a bigger vision for me, I think, than I had for myself as a coach. I came to him as a young assistant. I'd only been an assistant for 3 years when I got to him. And he immediately talked to me about, becoming a head coach and what it would be like to be a head coach. And I think you're going to be a great head coach, and just speaking that into my life. And then wasn't just, words, right? He gave me opportunities right away. And then it just grew year after year after year to do the things that head coaches do, to have a voice in practice. And then first it was, hey man, I want you to speak up, be willing to talk, be willing to coach. And then it was, hey man, I want you to coach this part of our team and really get into it. And then it was like, hey, I want you to run this segment of practice, right? And then it just grew and grew and grew. And then he asked me to, hey, can you go speak to these donors? I got an event going on. I can't be in both places. Why don't you do that for me? And then it was, hey, take on scheduling, do that for us and manage the budget. And he just kept giving me more and more opportunities to think like the head coach, to have those things on my plate. And now being in the head coaching chair, I understand he needed to get that stuff off of his plate because there's so many things that you have to do every day. And when you have a staff that you trust and you can give them those responsibilities, now not only does it clear your plate to focus on what's most important, but it also gives the guys on your staff things that help prepare them for the job. So he did an unbelievable job, taking a young coach and helping him develop him to be ready for this position. I'm still overwhelmed and humbled by the fact that I get to sit in this chair and do this job, but it's exciting. And I feel like most days I think I'm ready and I'm running and, we're figuring it out. And then there's days that it's a little overwhelming, but like you said, we put the time in every day and we got good people around us that help. And, you get an opportunity like this, you just got to run with it and take it and, trust that your training got you ready to go.
No doubt. Well, Coach, man, I thank you for your time today. Hope to see you during the live period. I'll be at Lake Point. I'll be at these events around Atlanta and Georgia doing the live period. So hope to see you there during that time. And before having you on the show again in the future, Coach, it was really fun to talk to you. And if you ever need anything from me, Coach, I'm here for you. You're a friend of Mike Jones, a friend of mine. So I'm in your corner, Coach.
Sounds good, man. Hey, I appreciate you having me on. Good to talk to you again. And certainly we'll catch up when we get down to Atlanta and get a chance to.
Sounds good, Coach. It was fun, man.
Hey, have a good one.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
Yes, BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV, covering content and hot topics from A to Z, sports, music, society and culture, movie reviews, you name it, we have it. Check it out on bs3network.com or check us out on Roku, BS3 TV on Roku, as well as check out your favorite podcast on all podcast platforms or Spreaker.com/BS3 Network.
You are now tuned to BS3 Network.
What's up, good people? Bet Online is your number one source for all your betting needs. The latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. Bet Online continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use your promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet Online, where the game starts. What's up, family? Jared the Bossman here. You're tuned into the Bossman Show on AM 1010, AM 1430, 1055 The King. Let the King out at 105theking.com and the Bossman Show at bossmanshow.com. Hit me up on Instagram, The Bossman Show, Twitter at Bossman Show, and Facebook, Bossman Show. It's the Bossman on your radio.
Listen to the Bossman Show with your host, JR, Saturdays at 9 a.m. right here on AM 1010, The King.